in the last video we have write our first program and printed hello world. So now what we are going to do, we are going to study how to initialize a variable or a value in Kotlin. So now we are going to create a new file. So we are going to file and then go on new, then go on Kotlin class comma file slash file, click on that, click on file. I am going to name this as variable and then hit enter. Okay, so firstly I am going to write a program fun main where a is equals to 20. Okay, so I have mentioned in the last video that I prefer to run program from here, not here. So what happens when I run the program from here? So when I run program from here, um, just let it build. Yeah, so when I run program from here, please note that the last program we wrote gets executed, the hello world program. And when I run program from here, so the variable kt program runs and process finished and exited with code 0. So now we will discuss how to declare a variable in Kotlin. So to declare a variable in Kotlin, either var or val keyword is used. So I have wrote var keyword and now I will use val keyword. Okay, so these are two ways for declaring a variable. So while mentioning Kotlin, yeah, or starting with Kotlin, I have mentioned that Kotlin is a statically typed language and it has a type inference. So what did I mean by statically typed? So before running the program, before compiling the program, the type of the variable is explicitly known by the compiler. So when I compile the program, the type of the variable is known by the compiler. So the type of this is int. I'll be explaining that in a while. And Kotlin has a type inference. So what does that mean? So when I hover over a, so it tells me variable a is int. So in Kotlin, the variable automatically tells its types, that what type it is, variable or value. Okay, so now what is the difference between var and val? So val has an immutable reference. So when I declared a val value, so when I go and change the value of b to 13, okay, so it underlines it by red and gives an error. So what it when hover over it, and it says that val cannot be reassigned. So I am going to come to that and hit alt plus enter. And when I hit alt plus enter, it gave us a number of choices to proceed with, and I click enter. So what it does is it converts val to var so that I can reassign the value. Okay, so we have now discovered what is var and val difference. So var variable has a mutable reference. So the variable declared using var keyword can be changed later in the program, and the variable declared using val keyword cannot be changed, and it is similar to final variable in Java, if some of you might have learned Java. Okay, so what if I don't know the initial value of the variable? So here I have initialized the variable a with some value, but what if I don't know its value? So if I have a variable name, okay, and I don't know what its value is, but I do know it holds a string. So I'll mention a colon and then type string. So here we have created a variable with a type string that can be defined later at any point. So now I want that the name should have a value uh, pk. So I'll give that the value. Okay, So it now you can see that it is underlining is it by yellow. So let's see what it is telling. So now we are going to hit Alt plus enter, and it's saying that uh, create it to value, because it is not going to change. So it is uh, saying that we can create it to value also. Now when I hit Alt plus enter on going to the name, it created the initialization within itself. Why did it do that? Because uh, the name was assigned just after the variable declaration, so it don't have a sense, and it makes the code of more line. Okay, so now we have understood that how to declare a variable. There are two ways, val and var keyword, and how to declare it beforehand and not initialize it. Okay, so how does this code work? So we are going to under a function which is has a name main. Okay, so when I go to this var a equals to 20, so it creates a variable, and a is the identifier by which this value has been identified. Okay, so it is like a common nomenclature we follow for naming the identifiers. So what we do is, like when a variable has a short reference, like in a function where the variable is used and at the end of function the variable is destroyed, so we can use their short variable such as a, b, c, i. Yeah, in for loop we use a variable and it is destroyed after the for loop is concluded, so we can use short variable, short identifiers there. But when we make a large code, so we should, it is a common practice that we should name the variable that such that we should name the identifier such that when we come after 3 or 4 months to the code, 3 or 4 months when we wrote the code, so we should know that why we created that variable and what that variable hold. So I'll just introduce some common practice such that I have a application that stores the mobile number. So what I can do is I can create an identifier such as mobile number in from application. Okay, so it is a string that initially holds a number 99999. Okay, so what I did here is I started with a small letter, and then after every word I created a capital letter. Okay, so it's just a common practice. We recommend you to make your identifiers in this way. Okay, otherwise that's fine, you can use underscore. Your variable identifier should start with a small case letter, and it should not contain any other special letters any other special letters other than underscore. So you can only use underscore, and your variable identifier cannot start with an underscore. Okay, so I hope that you like this video. In the next video we are going to cover the data types, and then we will proceed further. Thank you.